Well, I'm joined now by the Ukip MEP for the East Midlands, Roger Helmer, and the Scottish National Party's MSP, Joan McAlpine, is in Glasgow. Roger Helmer, wasn't this the rough and tumble of British politics? Has your leader gone a bit soft?
Not a bit, no. He faced some outrageous and disgraceful anti-democratic shouting of slogans.
Fascism.
Anti-democratic shouting of slogans, and he responded in a typically robust way. My concern is that some media outlets, and I have to say not Channel 4, but some media outlets, have been trying to turn this into a sort of Ukip versus SNP. It isn't that. Nigel was criticising a small group of demonstrators who behaved disgracefully.
Well, let's see. We've got an SNP member of the Scottish Parliament in Glasgow now. Joan McAlpine, your party's been challenged to condemn this behaviour by Ukip. Are you going to?
Well, I certainly condemn Ukip. In terms of the
I don't think that's
demonstration,
what they meant.
in terms of the demonstration, I think there's a student demonstration. I actually passed it on my way home to catch the train last night, and I didn't know what it was about then, but it just seemed like a noisy bunch of young people mounting a boisterous demonstration. I didn't. If Nigel Farage can't defend himself, his opinions against a boisterous student demonstration, then those opinions aren't worth very much.
Roger Helmer?
The police felt that the threatening behaviour was so serious they had to take Nigel away for his own protection, and I understand that 2 of the students have now been charged, and a jolly good thing too. This really was completely over the top, it was anti-democratic, and it was reprehensible.
Joan McAlpine?
Well, I think people have a right to demonstrate in a free society, and as one of the young students from Edinburgh College said that the reason he was demonstrating was because they regard Ukip as the BNP in a better fitting suit, which I think it put it quite well. People do not like Ukip's attitude to gay people, to gay marriage, to immigration. They regard them as intolerant, and as the First Minister says, they've got no place in Scottish politics. Well, they don't really matter in Scottish politics.
Well, Roger Helmer, I mean, let's get to the sort of the substance, because isn't the real problem for your party politically that your message doesn't translate north of the border? I mean, people in Scotland have got a different dilemma in front of them. It's about their relationship with Westminster, not their relationship with Brussels, that troubles them.
Well, bear in mind that, of course, if you go back 10 years, Ukip was nowhere in England either.
But
so you have to start from somewhere. No, I don't think it is different. I tell you, the group of people that we think will support Ukip in Scotland, there are Scots who want to remain in the Union of Great Britain, but who are not happy to be governed from Brussels. Ukip is the only party that represents that view.
Joan McAlpine?
Well, I totally disagree. I think the reason why people don't like Ukip in Scotland is because some of the attitudes that Ukip has expressed towards Scotland, like, for example, Ukip don't support the Scottish Parliament. The Scottish Parliament is a very respected institution in Scotland. And Ukip's head of policy, Christopher Monckton, was the person that condemned Scots as subsidy junkies and used extremely offensive language against people who were campaigning to keep the Scottish steel industry alive in the era of Thatcher and Major.
I mean, Roger Helmer, you say there are people who think this. I mean, where's your evidence for that? I mean, because, you know, you haven't had electoral success yet. I mean, how substantial do you think
opinion polls,
this body of people is who want to leave Europe but stay in the Union?
I can't give you an exact number, but we know from opinion polling that there are people in Scotland many people in Scotland who wish to maintain the Union, perhaps even with Great Britain, perhaps even a majority. And we know, again from polling, that there are people who are of a Eurosceptic bent. Fewer in Scotland than in England, but there are still there. So there is, where those two groups come together, there is a policy which only Ukip can represent.
Because what some people have been wondering is, it's all been going so well for you. You've had such a sort of a nice time with the British media after the recent elections. Put Nigel Farage in a roughy-tufty old political fight, and he shows his weakness. I
don't think so at all. I've seen him in lots of roughy-tufty political fights, and he can hold his corner. And in fact, he was actually responding to the media there, because he was facing media questioning, which, as I say, was trying to turn this from a story about an aggressive demonstration into a story about Ukip versus the SNP, and that wasn't the story.
Just finally, before we go, there's a story breaking tonight about one of your donors, Dimitri Marcassini, who has given donations of £5,000 twice to Ukip, apparently, who holds some rather controversial views about women, saying He's written a book saying, walk along any street and you see women using trousers like a uniform every single day. This is hostile behaviour. They are deliberately dressing in a way opposite to what men would like. Is that the kind of attitude you're comfortable with from a donor?
Not at all, no, and I don't think many people in UKIP would agree with that. The truth is, and I've been around politics for a long time, you can pick on any party, I dare say even the SNP, and you can find individuals who say things which the mainstream of that party would not be prepared to accept. This is an example.
Roger Helmer, Joe McAlpine, thank you both very much.